We depart Sitka and head once more into the Gulf of Alaska. We go just 20 sea miles south to Baranof Island. The coastline is a maze of rocks and islands of every size, as can be seen from this snapshot of our actual marine chart. These drone shots reveal this pattern of islands. We anchor in Herring Bay. Looking towards the mainland, Baranof Island reveals its mountain peaks. The forest cover shows numerous dead trees, a subject I will address later. Steve and Christine go ashore in the small tender to explore. All these islands are uninhabited, but they find remains of what had clearly been someone's homestead in the distant past. The following morning we awake to what seems like a procession of spectral ghosts drifting along the shore. We thread our way towards Baranof Island through intricacies of narrow channels. Dappled sunlight casts shadows over the foredeck. The ever-present mist lies draped in layers over the trees. We pass through the first and second narrows. We leave the vapors behind as we proceed inland. Crawfish Inlet penetrates a full 10 miles into Baranof Island. We have some discussion as to whether it's worth going so far without knowing what's at its head, but decide we will never know unless we go. The closely spaced contours on the chart illustrate the steepness of the terrain and the immense amount of work that goes into making these detailed charts. As this chart shows, the steep contours continue below the water, and the inlet comes to an abrupt end. Extreme caution and awareness of the state of the tide is needed to avoid running aground. Christine keeps a lookout for random rocks, a task made easier by the crystal clear water. This drone shot clearly illustrates the abrupt transition from deep to shallow water. We feel we are in a lost world. Once again, Steve and Christine take the tender to see what they can find ashore. Chris flies the drone and expertly steers it upstream through the forest. We used a large tender to explore where the shore meets the water. We spot a ring bolt secured to a rock, evidence of some commercial activity in the past. This fallen tree provides a miniature, self-contained ecosystem for new life. The only sound is the whisper of waterfalls. The following morning we retrace our route up Crawfish and continue south along the coast of Baranof Island. We enter the narrow rock-strewn entrance to a cove which is unnamed on the chart. In his guidebook, Douglas names it René's Relief. Trees will take root almost anywhere, and when you see bare rock with no trees, you know these are places continually swept by ferocious seas. We encounter a mass of dead trees, stark and white, standing like bleached skeletons in a cemetery. We read that yellow cedar trees are dying in large numbers because a lack of protective snow exposes their roots to freezing temperatures. A huge scar marks a landslide where the thin veneer of soil has broken loose from the underlying rock. In contrast to the turbulent entrance, the secluded cove is utterly calm. Being decay resistant, these trees can remain standing 80 years after death. We cannot be sure that they are all yellow cedar, but if so, they offer an explanation for what we can see. But the rugged shoreline lacks appeal to the would-be hikers, so we decide to move on. And we head for the hazardous entrance. The outboard transit into the boisterous gulf seems even more hair-raising than on the way in. We are once again back in the Gulf, but we move just around the corner to Redfish Bay. Here too, bare rock is a reminder of wild water. We have to negotiate 2 sets of narrows. Once again, we are overlooked by stands of dying trees. We anchor in remote and peaceful surroundings,